Hi, guys. How are we all doing? It is Tuesday, and I asked you guys earlier yesterday in a poll what you would rather me chat about if I decided to spontaneously go live today. And I also asked the question over on Instagram, so I'm going to hop live over there in just a second. But the results essentially are in, and the majority of you want to hear my story. And even though we have the masterclass tomorrow, which I cannot freaking wait for, oh my god, I'm so excited. I feel like I'm gonna throw up, but I'm so excited. I wanted to share my story with you because tomorrow it's going to be more about giving you information and teaching you all the things. So, with that being said, I'm going to just double check that everything is working over in the group. If you're tuning in live, please say hello where you're tuning in from. If you are tuning in for the very first time, absolutely say hello. I just want to make sure that the video is showing. Can you guys see this in the group as well as, let me see. Yay, good morning, Val. How are you, darling? Is it showing in the group too, Val, or is it just showing in the page? I honestly am over technology these days, but anyway. Okay, so I am, while this is running, okay, I'm going to get out of that because I've got that. All right, so now I'm going to go live over on Instagram. So just give me a hot second here, guys. Bear with me. How are you doing, Val? How are things? Are you so excited for tomorrow? Oh, you can see up my nose. Isn't that fun? Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to go live. Checking connection. Okay, yay! Awesome, awesome. All right, so we are live. Oh, wow, you can see like all of me. You can see me like sitting cross-legged on Instagram. Oh, boy. All right, well, awesome. So, like I said, guys, if you are tuning in live for the very first time, either on Instagram or on the Facebook page or in the Facebook group, please let me know if you are catching the replay. Let me know that too, because I always love to know who tunes into these things, if I'm talking to myself or not. Hey, Emily, how are you doing? Lovely. Okay, so today it might get a little vulnerable, okay? We might get a little vulnerable because I am going to share my story with you guys on all of the social media channels. So tomorrow, again, for those of you who have been living under a rock, tomorrow is so freaking exciting because I'm so excited but want to throw up all the things. Tomorrow is the masterclass. It's going live tomorrow. I can't wait to see all of your beautiful faces there. Hey, Sarah Loomis. So yeah, that is happening tomorrow. But tomorrow isn't really about me. Tomorrow isn't about my story. Tomorrow I am going to be helping you guys, and I'm going to be teaching you guys some of the mistakes that I see creative entrepreneurs making again and again and again. But I'm also going to be teaching you my 4-part framework for tapping into your intuition and incorporating that into your business. So I'm super excited about all the things. Tomorrow is going to be amazing. If you haven't already registered for tomorrow, then you want to get on that because it's through a webinar. It's not like live today. Hey, Victoria. Mwah. So you want to make sure that you're registered for that. If you don't have the link, then let me know. I'll be happy to send it to you. But again, today is about me and my story. And it's an interesting one for sure. So feel free to tune in at any point. Feel free to ask the questions. I mean, I'm telling you guys this because I've seen a lot of people saying that, it's this that intuition, you have to be either a mythical unicorn in order to be able to tap into it, or you have to be born psychic, and that's not true. And I'm living proof of that. Okay, so Addie. Oh, yes, Addie, I'm actually finishing up that. Literally after we hop off of here, I'm going to be finishing that up, and I'm going to be making sure that you have that PDF, that workbook for the webinar first thing. So I'm going to be uploading that during tomorrow's masterclass. So thank you so much, though, for asking. The question, guys, was I talk about a workbook for tomorrow's masterclass in the video, busting some of the myths about intuition, and it's not uploaded yet, and that's the reason why. Yay, you're so welcome. And thank you for asking, because I'm sure other people have the same question, so thank you for being the one. Okay, so like I said, my story is... I can already tell you it's going to be similar to a lot of yours. And that's why I really wanted to share this with you today. Because having the gift isn't something that we are all born with. Okay? And if you did watch that, myth busting video that I posted, if you've signed up for the masterclass tomorrow, I talk about this a little bit, but I was of this mentality too. I always used to think that, you were born psychic, or you were born with, all of these like crazy things, like you could see dead people straight out of the womb. Like, how scary would that be? Oh my God, could you imagine? Like, could you eat? Oh my God, I won't. Anywho, thank you so much, Michael. So the whole idea about today, again, because people are starting to tune in now that we're rolling, is about my story. So I am 31 years old. Okay, I'm 31, and I have been awake since 2013. Okay, it hasn't been that long in the grand scheme of things. It's been 6 years. So I went to college. I'm going to start there. I went to college for psychology. I got my degree in psychology and a minor in Holocaust and genocide studies. And ironically enough, I don't know if you guys know this little tidbit, but the majority of empaths or psychics that come into their gifts later on in life aren't really sure what they want to major in college, and so the majority of them actually end up studying psychology because something just resonates with them, human behavior. So I just find that interesting, because when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, that's so true. I had no idea why I wanted to, learn about psychology and all the things, and I'm like, well, shit, okay, there we go, we got some answers. So my degree is in psychology. I thought I was going to become a guidance counselor, or I thought that I was going to be a professor of Holocaust and genocide studies. Random, I know, random. But that was where my heart was. And at the time, upon my senior year, I was actually married. So I am one of those. I had a practice marriage. Yes, praise to the practice marriages. And I was married at the time. And at right around the end of my fall semester senior year, my partner at the time said, I don't love you anymore. Deuces. Yeah. So as you can imagine, my entire world got flipped upside down. I was supposed to actually go and visit Clark University a week after he told me that. And I remember having to email that the professor of the doctor of the program and say, I'm so sorry, my life has drastically changed. And I thought that my life was over, guys. Like, I thought my world was over. But in reality, looking back now, it literally was the universe intervening. It was like, okay, yeah, no, we got to get you back on the right track. So I just think that's interesting. So anyway, I graduate from college. I get a divorce. I'm all the things. I start working at a bank. All right. Start working at a bank because straight out of college, how many of us actually get a job? Like, anyone? Did anyone actually do that? Like, if you did, I want to know, because clearly you're a freaking unicorn. But I started working at a bank, and then very shortly thereafter, I went into direct sales. That's a story for another day. We're not going to get into it, but I wasn't very happy, let's just say, okay? That's putting it very lightly. 2012 rolls around, okay? So we just went from 2009 to 2012. I just hopped 3 years. You're welcome. And I began working for a Boston wedding photographer who also happened to become my very best friend very quickly on. It was like, for those Grey's Anatomy fans out there, she was my, Christina to my Meredith Grey. She was my person. And so it's very interesting to me because I had never had this strong of a connection with anyone ever. I had really good friends in high school and in college, but like I just never had that type of like soul mate, best friend level connection. Anyway, I start working 2012 with her. February 2013. Okay, this is where it gets good. I promise. And thank you guys for tuning in for the last 5 minutes. If you're like, oh my God, is she gonna get to the good stuff? So February 2013, I accompany the wedding photographer and the second shooter, who both, again, they were my best friends. We were like a trio. And I go to this wedding, and the mother of the bride, we knew going into this, was psychic. She was a world-renowned psychic, okay? She did readings for celebrities, and just that's pretty much all we knew. Well, the wedding happens, nothing odd happens, nothing happens where we're like, holy shit, who is this woman? It was relatively a normal wedding day. The very end of the night, we're packing up our stuff, and she happens to come back into the room. So picture a 2-level wedding venue, okay? It's a beautiful, old, rustic, finished barn. She comes back into her table, which is on the first level, and grabs her purse. In order for her, hi Erica, in order for her to come upstairs to us, she had to actually make a point to go up these stairs. Anyway, she says, after coming upstairs to see us as we're packing up, we're the only ones left, she goes, who here knows Flo? Who here knows Florence? And I immediately burst into tears. My grandmother, who pretty much raised me, she was my maternal figure, had just passed, just shy of a month prior. So, as you can imagine, for those of you who have lost your mom, I apologize. I personally haven't lost my mom, but I've lost my maternal figure, and that is the worst. The worst. So, as you can imagine, I'm doing what I'm doing right now, and here it is 6 years later. Just imagine that fresh, okay? And she says, she's here with you. And she wants you to know that she's okay. She didn't suffer. She's at peace. And quick backstory, my grandmother had polio. So she actually wore a brace her entire life. One leg was so significantly shorter than the other that she couldn't walk without this brace. She, at the end of her life, had very severe dementia and Alzheimer's. So she was no longer there. And I always wondered if she was okay. Like, even though she was present, you guys know, with family members that have Alzheimer's and dementia, it just wreaks havoc on your entire family. She was unable to come to my wedding, my second wedding, my real wedding. She was able to meet Liam, my oldest son, so that I'm grateful for. And that's something that this woman, this mother of the bride, said to me. She said, she answered that question because it was something that I'd always wondered. Like, did she realize who Liam was? Like, did she realize that she has a great grandson? Told you it was gonna get real. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I warned you. This is me getting naked, right? And so the mother of the bride said to me, you are doing a wonderful job raising Liam. And she sees that. And she's so proud of you. If someone at that moment could have given me $1 million or the confirmation that my grandmother was able to meet Liam, I would have said, fuck the $1 million. I don't want it. That's all I wanted. So that's how important it was to me. Just trying to paint the picture here. Real wedding, Erica. Oh my God, I love you. Thank you. So anyway, obviously she had my attention at this point, right? Like, obviously I'm listening to everything that this woman is saying to me. She goes on to talk about some things that only I would have known about with my grandmother. So for all of those that are like, psychics aren't real, or, you know, whatever, we all have those. Maybe you are one, you know, maybe you are one of the non-believers, and that's okay, because honestly, there were moments where I was too. But anyway, she talked about things that only I would have known about, like the secret stash of Werther's that she had in her nightstand. You know, just little things. So anyway, she goes on to tell my friends Jess and Aaron some things about them. She actually predicted that my friend Aaron was going to have twins, and blonde-haired twins, a boy and a girl. And if you knew Aaron at that time, she had a daughter. She was older. She was good. Like, she was good with that child train. Okay, like, babies were not in the forecast. So she kind of laughed it off, and she was like, okay, whatever. And I'll bring that up in just a couple minutes, but let's just say it came true. And she talked about some things with Jess. Anyway, all of that happens, and then towards the end of this conversation, that completely has blown me away. I'm like, I came here to work a wedding. Like, what is going on? At the end of this, she just looks at me. And she just kind of like stares at me, like what I'm doing right now. Between the two cameras, I'm trying to do it equally. And she just looks at me. And she says to me, you know you have the gift, right? And I just looked at her and I'm like, what? What the hell are you talking about? Like, Christmas is over. It's February. Like Ian's buying me a Valentine's Day present type gift. Like, what are, you gotta give me some context here. And she looked at me and she said, I want you to do a quick exercise with me. And I said, okay. She said, I'm thinking of my very best friend. Her name is Pam. I'm picturing her in my mind. I want you, without thinking about this, I want you to explain to me what she looks like. Go. And so without any hesitation, I said, well, she's about my height. She is a little bit heavier set. She has beautiful brown hair and gorgeous blue eyes. And so this woman, this mother of the bride, just looks at me and smiles, kind of like what I'm doing right now. It was like very small. And she said, that's Pam. And I honestly, at that moment, didn't really know what the hell had just happened. Was I on a game show? Like, what is even happening right now? Like, right? So, she said, you have the gift. You just need to cultivate it. You need to learn it. And I said, okay, how do I do that? And she didn't obviously know that I am a wicked nerd and I love learning. And so, like, she opened Pandora's box on this one. I learned all the things, okay? I just want to thank her. I know that this isn't directly towards her, but I hope to someday be able to just give her the biggest hug, embrace her, and just say thank you. Thank you for changing the trajectory of my life. Because at that time, I had very bad postpartum. At that time, I was kicking myself, thinking that I was this terrible person because here I am taking antidepressants, for my life. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I want to get off these. I shouldn't need these, blah, 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 blah. And I will never forget her saying to me, I work with a lot of clients and I'm able to help a lot of them actually get off medications. She said, you are one of a handful of people that I want to say to you, you need your medication. You are not you without your medication. And I didn't say anything to her. It's not like I prompted her. It's not like I was asking, oh, should I get off my medication? Like, she knew nothing. She knew nothing about me, guys. So how is that even, right? Like, how is that even possible? So anyway, I would just love to thank her. And so I'm thanking her publicly, and I hope to someday be able to hug her and love on her and just show her how grateful I am. Anyway, that's 2013. I continue working for the Boston Wedding Photographer. I continue working with my best friends. And then towards the end of 2015, my intuition really starts to get strong. Now, mind you, I've been reading the books. I've been, pulling cards. I've been getting crystals here and there. Like, I've been doing all the things, like, kind of secretively, though, like, under the radar. Like, I'm still in the spiritual closet. Like, Sarah Loomis, woo! The closet of Narnia. People don't know publicly. Only those closest to me. My husband and my two best friends were basically the only ones that knew. 2015, I get this intuitive nudge, if you will. And it is, hands down, the hardest reality check I've ever received in my life. If you had said to me back in 2015, you are never going to talk to your two best friends, Jess and Aaron, ever again. You are no longer going to work with them. Your life's about to change. I would have said, you're full of shit. You need to go, get yourself checked. But that's exactly what happened. So I had been getting these nudges that I needed to leave. I needed to leave. I needed to quit. I needed to go out on my own. And I didn't want to acknowledge it because, reality is, would you want to say goodbye to your best friends, for the rest of your life? No. Who wants to do that? Not anyone I know, unless you're in a terrible friendship. So anyway, I kept getting these promptings, and they kept getting stronger. And then finally, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it, the divine, intervened and made it happen. So I went from, again, having a great job, two best friends that I couldn't have, given my left leg to have better ones, all of these things. And then it happened. And I felt like my world had been flipped upside down. But I can tell you what, if I didn't have those intuitive nudges, telling me this is about to happen all along, I don't know what that whole situation would have looked like for me. I mean, I'm sure I would have picked up the pieces, but how would that have looked, right? Like, it was hard enough as it was. But that's the beginning of 2016. Then I immediately transitioned to becoming a wedding planner. It's what I was doing all along, essentially, while working for Jess. And so it just made the most logical sense. Like, duh, like, I'm doing this anyway. I might as well do it and get paid for it on my own, right? Well, a year in, I have, all of these clients come out of nowhere. Like, it's not like I had money to be marketing myself. Like, I finished my very first year with 8 clients. Like, who does that? Like, who does that? And I went into the following year almost completely booked. Like, it's just, that doesn't happen regularly, right? It just doesn't. I have many friends that have been in the industry for years, right? And they're like, okay, it took me a year and a half to actually get a client or whatever. But I realized within that first year that I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy, and I didn't know why, and I couldn't put my finger on it. So I do a little bit of digging. I do a little bit of soul searching, if you will, and I realized that what was lacking was my ability to really help people, my ability to really serve people at the level I wanted to serve. And for me, that meant helping business owners with the behind the scenes of their businesses and, really helping them figure out how to set it all up and make it all work. Like, I use this analogy all the time. Just because you are like a world-renowned photographer and you can take award-winning photos doesn't mean you know how to be the CEO of a company, and vice versa. If you are the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, that doesn't necessarily mean that you know how to take an award-winning photo, right? Like, is that making sense? Does that resonate for you guys? That's what I felt like I had come to do. So, Wedding Boss Life is born. And here I am, I'm helping all of these amazing wedding professionals. I'm, teaching them about systems and marketing and SEO and all the things and whatever, blah. Something's still missing. Now, mind you, I'm going to take a quick sip of coffee. Mind you, I could have, quite honestly, just been like, no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm helping all these people. It's good. I'm good. But I didn't, because I know the reality of when you get those subtle nudges, as I call them, it's coming for a reason. SEO queen. I love you, Sarah. I knew that there was a reason. And so I started to lean into it more instead of avoid it, instead of being scared of it. I started to lean in more. And so what that ended up doing was one full year after me launching Wedding Boss Life on a live, quite like this. It wasn't on Instagram, it was just on Facebook. A live like this. I feel this push. That's the only real way I can describe it. I feel this push to tell the world, and by telling the world, I really mean telling the people watching this live and watching this replay, that I'm intuitive. And now this is something I have kept hidden to myself for the last 5 years. Okay? Like, this is only something I know about. And so for those of you who have ever had to, you remember this live, Val? Oh my God, that's part of this story now. For those of you who have ever had to step outside of your comfort zone, who have ever had to come out of the closet, per se, in whatever way, shape, or form that looks like for you. Whether that is, coming to terms in reality with what your passions truly are, with what you really want to do for business, whether that's real truth hitting you upside the head about your, sexual orientation. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You guys know that feeling of fear and worry of judgment and just utter, like, oh my God, I'm not ever going to be able to put this, like, coat back on me, right? Like, once I step out, that door gets locked. I can't play it safe anymore. Excuse me. And for those of you who don't know, if you actually burp out of nowhere or there's like a release of air, that's energy shifting. So thank you, universe, for allowing me to embrace that change, because I was able to go live and I did I believe, Val, correct me if I'm wrong if you're still watching, was it an energy forecast for the week? I don't even remember. I think. I want to say yes. And the response to that was something that I will never, ever, ever forget. It was me coming out of the closet, and I had so many people that either had an inkling or loved every facet of who I was and embraced me, and they were so supportive. And that is when I truly felt like my life has just changed completely and there's no going back. So that is how this has kind of come about. I went from being a business coach, if you will, but before that, I was a wedding planner. Before that, I was a studio manager for a wedding photographer. And before that, I had owned my own business. I went from being all of the logical, right? All of the logical. Sherry, how are you doing, my love? Oh my gosh. Mwah. Oh, Sherry, I have a story for you, but I won't right now. I went from being all of the logical, all of the systemic, all of the rational, to now, and quite honestly, being viewed as the smart girl, okay? I graduated 10th in my high school class. I graduated summa cum. Like, I'm not telling you this to brag. I'm telling you this because I value intelligence, and I value education, and I value learning. But now, I just flipped the frickin' script, and I just came out March 2018, and I say to the world, by the way, I'm an intuitive. And that was it. I began to incorporate it more publicly into my work. Before, if you worked one-on-one with me in any capacity, business coaching, I kind of like slid under the door, so to speak. And I know that some of my clients, past clients are watching and will be watching the replay, and I'm sure you can attest to this. Like, it kind of came when it came, but it was like I still was very scared and very afraid. And the reason why I really want to drive that home is because that feeling of the unknown, not knowing what's to come, is life. It's business. It's relationships. It's everywhere. But we play it safe because if we can't control certain elements of a situation, we look for the safety factor, right? Like, that's just what we do as humans. And that's what we do as entrepreneurs. Even though being an entrepreneur, there's no telling what's going to happen from day to day, we play it safe. And so what that does is it limits us. It limits our growth, and it limits the possibilities for the universe to actually show up and deliver. So people will come to me and they'll say things like, oh, I don't know where I'm going to get my next clients. I don't know how to price my services. I, don't know how to market. I, don't know how to do this, or this isn't happening, this isn't happening, this isn't happening. But the reality of it is, guys, they're shutting themselves off from possibility. I'm just going to let that sink in for a second. Because anytime someone, a business coach, let's say, in the online world, in the online space, proclaims to have the answer to solve all of your business woes, I just want to let you know that what they're essentially giving you and providing is essentially a Band-Aid to a broken knee. Okay? It's essentially receiving a cast over wound that goes from your shoulder down to your arm. It's not what we always need, because we're not getting to the root of the problem, okay? So I'm just explaining that to you because I really want you to understand that my story is no different than yours. It's no different than yours. It's no different. It's just a matter of listening and then acting upon that what you've just heard. So that brings us to today. That brings us to here. That brings us to the now. Now, I'm an intuitive business coach, so I incorporate all of my gifts. I incorporate all the things. And that way, you are getting the most well-rounded perspective on your life and your business. So what I'm going to be teaching you guys tomorrow in tomorrow's masterclass, Intuition in Business, is how to begin receiving the answers for yourself. Yes, I could help you give you the answers. Like if you're looking for specific answers to, a problem in your business or a problem in your life, yes, I can tune in and I can tap in and I can give you that guidance. But what I'm teaching you tomorrow is how to begin doing it for yourself. And that, guys, is where the true magic lies. And that's when you see ground-shattering change. Because you now have the tools that you need to make the dream life, the dream business, a reality. So, I am going to stick around for just a couple minutes here. I just realized how wonky my hair looks right now, and it's whatever. I'm going to stick around for a little bit, and I want to answer any questions that you guys might have, because on tomorrow's masterclass, it's going to be very action-packed. It's going to, not like a freaking action movie or anything like that, but I'm going to be giving you actionable tools, and it's going to be kind of rapid fire. So I just want to make sure I can help you with anything that you may have questions about now while I'm here. Use me, right? So I'm just going to tune into these questions that I'm getting, and I'm looking up here because I've got a phone right here, and then I've got the computer right here. So give me 1 second. Valerie's saying, I'm so excited for this. You're so amazing sharing this with us. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Val. Thank you. It took me a while to get to this place, right? I wouldn't have been able to tell it so publicly if you had asked me to do it even, a few months ago. It's exposing part of yourself that is who you truly are, but you're exposing it to the world and then saying basically I don't give a if you judge me or not, right? So it's taken me a little bit, but thank you. I really, really appreciate that. And Sherry's saying, I'm trying to get unstuck in my business. Girlfriend, you are not alone. You are not alone. Let me just say that. And I'm not just even saying that to try to make you feel better. This energy that is kind of this month of February, it's very, it's forcing you to get out of your own way. It's really forcing you to create a plan for yourself and to set intentions for yourself. And if you aren't sure, if you're not clear, that's where that whole feeling of like being stuck comes from. Does that make sense? Oh, thank you, Erica. Thank you. And you have been around since like the beginning. No, not the beginning, but pretty close. I remember when you first found like Wedding Boss Life. Yeah, oh my gosh, that's been a minute. So Sherry's asking, what time is the masterclass? The masterclass is tomorrow, Sherry. It's at 11 a.m. Eastern. So I can put the link in the comments, I think in both Instagram and on Facebook. But if you go to therootedconnection.com, you'll be able to sign up right there. But I'll still put the link in there for you. If you're not able to catch the live, that's okay, because if you sign up, a replay will be sent to you. So if you are meaning to watch it and want to see it, but you just can't make it, still sign up. That's okay. Okay, Erica, here's a question. Your ex-friends, have you heard from them since you're coming out? Just curious. It's actually funny that you say that, or ask that question, because 2 weeks ago, wasn't last week, it was the week before, I actually had heard from Erin. She messaged me on Facebook, and it was actually because she had recently moved, and she was asking if, have you guys ever heard of those Neat receipts? It's like this little machine that you like pop your receipt in. It's before like we used to be able to take the pictures of them with our phones. Like we're talking like 2013, 2014. Anyway, she asked me if it was mine, and I said, no, that's Jess's, because she had essentially, I guess, taken it when she moved. And that was the extent of the conversation. There wasn't any, hey, you want to go get coffee? Hey, do you want to catch up? She actually said to me, like, because it was a, we talked for like, I want to say maybe 5 minutes. And she said, I don't know what you are even doing these days, but I just wanted to see if you wanted this Neat receipt thing. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it, because I don't know if, not everyone is supposed to be in your life for a lifetime. Some of them are just meant to be a major contributing chapter, right? And I don't know if it was, no, I do know. I know that she's not meant to be part of this process for me now. Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. I am like ignoring all the Instagram. Okay. I'm so excited for this. Oh, you already said that. I'm sorry, Val. Will we be able to watch it again after the webinar? Will we have a recording of it like when we do one-on-ones with me, if that makes sense? Yes. So you'll be given the replay link. The replay link will eventually expire, but you will get the replay link. So yes to that. So great, Sarah. So great for our first convo. When you open my eyes to this spiritual closet. Oh, babe. Me too. Oh my gosh, me too. And can you imagine that was literally not even a full 2 months ago? That was like a month and a half ago, right? So, okay, Michael, the world is awakening. Many souls are very depressed. They're being stretched and shaken. I could not agree with you more. The collective right now is really going through quite a bit. Wouldn't you agree, Michael? Like it's, and they're not knowing where to turn. So I feel like this, what I've kind of created, is coming at such a good time for people. Like it can be a solution, So I'm just really grateful for that too. Emily, you have such a beautiful soul. I can't wait till tomorrow. Oh, thank you. Like, thank you. I'm so excited for tomorrow. Addie, been there. True sign of growth is letting go. Yes. And it took me a long time. Like it felt like a breakup. Like it honestly, here's the funny part. Well, it's not funny, but it is funny. I was more, of a mess over losing my 2 best friends when I quit that job than I was my divorce from my practice marriage. Let that sink in. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me see. Gush. Oh, Sherry, thank you. Oh, yay. Thank you. Oh, I'm so excited. And I hope, Sherry, that you are able to hop on the masterclass tomorrow or catch the replay. I think it will absolutely help you more than you know. But yeah, so guys, does anyone else have any last minute questions or comments or anything? I really want to give you guys this space and this time. I know I've been chatting for a while. How long has it been? Anyone? Let me see. 45 freaking minutes? Oh, I am so sorry. Chatty Cathy over here. I apologize. All right. So, holy crap, 45 minutes. I'm going to hop off. I cannot wait to see all of your beautiful faces tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. If you guys have a friend that you know you could benefit from what I'm going to be dropping tomorrow, invite them, have them sign up. This isn't something that you need to keep and hold to yourself. This isn't like the secret sauce to your business that should only be kept for you, because if anyone else finds out about it, there won't be enough to go around. No, that's not it at all. Like, that's actually the opposite is true. So feel free to invite. Michael, you're here to help the lost and weary. Please be patient with the people who make your life worth living. Thank you. And I feel like that was a download from you, Michael. So I thank you. I needed to hear that, actually. Thank you. But yes, so not for nothing, but I'm going to hop off. I thank you guys so much that tuned in for the live on Facebook, on Instagram, and whatnot. So be sure, if you caught this midway, if you want to go back and watch it, I am going to post it so you can catch the entire thing. If you guys have any questions later on, just drop them in the comments below, either place. But sending you guys so much love, and oh my God, I can't wait for tomorrow. I'm so excited. All right, bye guys. All right, we're off on Instagram, and now we're off on Facebook. Bye, guys.